Guess who's back?
Prepare yourself. Well, since somebody liked the way I told you the first Predator story, they wanted me to tell you the second one. Here's Predator 2.
Grab a seat. Enjoy the show.
So we meet Lieutenant Mike Harrigan as he comes up on the scene of a police shootout in LA. The Colombian gang's trying to get into their headquarters, but the cops have them pinned down. There are two cops that are already badly hurt between the two organizations, and only Harrigan has the balls to try and save them.
There's no room for showboats or anyone looking to prove themselves.
While he opens a giant duffel bag of guns that was clearly packed by a potato chip company, he has his partner Danny put bulletproof vests on his windows. Then he removes the door from his own car and drives out to the injured cops, making sure to stick his head and torso out the fresh opening as he's being fired upon.
Now don't worry, I was driving before you were itching your daddy's pants.
This allows the cops to get their friends, but also lets some of the Colombians get into the building, where they have more guns, ammo, and performance-enhancing drugs.
You guys really ought to cut down.
Then the ones that don't go in completely miss Harrigan sneaking up behind him.
Hello, baby.
At least until he announces himself and waits for them to turn and fire at him before he kills them and they die.
One psycho son of a bitch, but you're good.
Why would he say something?
Because he's the good guy.
When some guy's hurting someone, I try to shoot him in the leg or something, just to stop him.
And if he were to shoot someone in the back that's already shot at other officers and him just 30 seconds ago, that would be immoral.
I will not fire on helpless people.
You see it all the time. Someone's been trying to kill a character the whole story, and when they finally get the drop on the killer, they always yell right before. I guess so nobody can call him a murderer or some shit.
Killing people is bad.
When he gets back, Danny tells him that the chief wants him to secure the perimeter, but Harrigan knows that they need to get in there before they can rearm themselves. But there's an explosion on the top floor, so Mike takes the team up.
Take full responsibility. The son of a bitch just killed two of our men.
One of the dudes busts out the door, shooting like crazy, and runs up the stairs. Harrigan follows, but the guy covered in blood acts like he doesn't even see him.
You can't see the eyes of the demon until him come calling.
Then he sees something behind Mike and goes to shoot, but Mike shoots him first, and he falls off the building, and he dies.
Take that, you scum-sucking dog!
Then Harrigan, who's afraid of heights, works up the courage to look over the ledge to see that the Colombian fell on the world's strongest picnic table.
I don't know, but you don't buy it in a hardware store.
Downstairs, all the other Colombians were dead before they got in there. They were all cut up, which leads the cops to think that it was the Jamaicans. But we know it was something else with dreadlocks.
A fucking alien.
A predator.
I stick by my story. I'm from Jamaica. If I wasn't Jamaican, then why would I wear this hat?
Which is really weird that he would take out all the Colombians, but not any of the cops.
I'm a dead man. Hey, fuck you looking at a dead man.
As Mike gets chewed out for going into the building, a helicopter lands, and a bunch of guys in matching members-only jackets get out, led by this blonde bastard, Peter Keyes, who the captain tells Harrigan is taking over the investigation back at the station.
Where the hell did you get him? Psychos are us?
There, we see that the LAPD attire is either a standard uniform, slacks with suspenders, or anything in a mustard yellow.
Okay, disgusting, but okay.
And this annoying guy that's sweating through his mustard suit, Jerry Lambert, is the new guy on their team. And he makes fast friends with their fourth member, Leona Cantrell.
Hey, ho, Hakuna Histata, he's sorry.
Come on, everybody does it.
Downtown, the head of the Colombian gang gets a visit from the Jamaicans. And as soon as they kill him, the Predator shoots one guy from their left, so they shoot to their right. Then one of them gets shot from behind, so they shoot in front of him. Then another dude gets picked up in front of him, so his friend shoots to his right. And then the Predator stabs him, and he dies.
I suppose we have to register you as a lethal weapon.
I don't think he gives a shit.
But the voodoo priest was bravely hiding, so the Predator comes out of hiding too. So he and the chick the Colombian was banging can see him before he shoots the priest in the face, and he dies.
Hey, don't worry, here, have a french fry.
Mike and his team of course show up to the scene after being told not to, ignore orders, and go up. All the Jamaicans have been skinned and hung up with the Colombian. Then they get kicked out by Keyes and his men, who don't investigate the object that they were all looking at, allow Leona to take their only witness, and allow a member of the press to get on the balcony.
Wow, I thought you were, good at your job or something.
Well, I guess not.
Mike had Lambert follow the witness to the hospital, but the feds intercepted the ambulance and took her somewhere in their helicopter. So since Keyes left the scene to abduct her, Danny didn't have to stay long to see what the DEA missed. He's like, yippee! They didn't find that weird thing in the air conditioner that we were all staring at.
Some detective.
So he climbs up the wall onto the exposed crawl space of the penthouse and pulls it out. He hears Mike call for him and falls, but the Predator catches him. And to thank him, he pulls out his gun. So the Predator pulls him up and he dies.
No, don't thank me now. I mean, it's the least I can do after all the kindness that you've shown me.
A few days later, the chief wants to charge Mike with Danny's death. But since he's some uber badass with a good arrest record, they're just going to say that Danny went back in on his own to tamper with a federal investigation.
You're walking on physical evidence.
He's then told twice not to involve himself anymore. So naturally, he attacks Keyes the next time he sees him in City Hall in front of several witnesses, including his captain who just told him not to do that, but then turns around and tells his team to drop it.
Make you kiss my sweet ass!
They say no. So he's like, okay, let's hear what you found out while stalking Keyes.
So what the fuck happened?
See, Mike doesn't think that he's really DEA, so that's why he had Lambert follow him. They're putting up sensors all over downtown, but he lost him in the Slaughterhouse District. So he and Lambert take off, while Leona has to try to set up a meeting for Mike with King Willie, the head of the Jamaican gang. They went to the coroner, who tells him that Danny's death was really quick.
Death was instantaneous. He was boned like a fish. I've never seen anything like this.
Bullshit, but thanks anyway.
Harrigan must have been the one that found Danny, or maybe she's a shitty coroner, because he pulled the spearhead from Danny's hand and wants her to run tests on it. And of course, the coroner has the exact tech to find out that the metal isn't even from Earth, right in her lab then and there.
Man, equipment I can't even begin to touch.
When they leave, some Jamaicans pick up Mike in a car that would give anyone secondhand lung cancer and take him to see King Willie. He chose to meet Harrigan in a shitty alley, where he was hiding behind a dumpster for dramatic effect.
This is our boat. Oh, wow.
He says that he thinks a dark spirit's killing his men, because some chicken bones told him so.
Real reliable stuff.
Then after his men take Mike back from this pointless conversation, the Predator attacks King Willie, and he dies.
You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
Now I'm not sure why, but out of all the people he's killed so far, he wanted to keep the head of the man who fought him with a giant sewing needle for his collection.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
Leona and Lambert find out that Keyes took all the evidence from the murders, except a lab result saying that they're adding steroids to beef.
You got a lot of beef.
And since Lambert lost Keyes at the slaughterhouses, they get on the subway to go there.
Yeah, and in this heat, wolf. I mean, B.O. and barbecue.
But when everyone's trying to stop a robbery, the Predator gets on board, and almost everybody with a gun dies.
We're in a war zone, Dave.
Well, that is kind of his thing.
It's a real nasty habit you got there.
Except he only kills some of them. The rest were killed by friendly fire.
Oh, fuck this! Get me out of here!
Jerry told Leona to get all the people off the train, while he held back the invisible creature in the dark.
You try that cowboy shit with me, fucking you can kiss this. Goodbye.
Then, after pushing everyone a few cars back, she finally pulls the emergency stop. She goes back to find Jerry dead, but he put up quite a fight.
That's a demon, son.
After he emptied 2 magazines, he tried both a machete and a golf ball.
My turn. Fuck you, asshole.
I'm still here, asshole.
But since none of those worked, he got thrown across the train and he died.
That is bullshit.
The Predator then goes after Leona, who he doesn't kill despite having her gun out. And this is because he can see that she's pregnant.
She's your baggage.
So I guess this Predator is more sensitive than the last one, since he also realized that a child had a toy gun in the graveyard earlier.
You look like a sympathetic dude.
And that's where he teased Mike with Danny's necklace, and also didn't shoot him when he had his gun pulled then, or any other time for that matter.
Slippery son of a bitch got away.
Why wouldn't he kill Mike? Not like he's pregnant.
No, he's not. So if you remember in the first story, when Hawkins was chasing Anna through the jungle, even though he was only trying to catch her, in the Predator's eyes, he was acting really aggressive. He had his gun out, and he tackled her. So in this one, when the Predator's introduced to the cops, he may see them as defending themselves versus the Colombians, who were clearly the aggressors. Same with the Jamaicans who attacked the leader of the Colombian gang. So when they're doing investigations, he knows that they're only trying to protect themselves.
This is a sport of death and honor. Go to the gladiators.
Anyway, Mike shows up at the scene and is the only one smart enough to follow the giant blood trail to witness the Predator pulling out Lambert's spine and running away. So after acknowledging that the Predator's attacking people who are armed,
Who got hit this time?
Bunch of commuters.
They were all armed.
he pulls out his gun and follows him to the street.
That's the last thing you should do.
Seeing that he's on the roof already, Harrigan gets in his car that he already had fixed and follows him to the meatpacking plant. But just as he sees which building he's on, he gets hit by Keyes' men.
Hit him again.
They take him to their command center, where Keyes fills them in on what they're doing there. They've been tracking other locations where Predators have attacked, based on the info that Dutch provided them. They figure that they can coat him with dust that won't show up on his visual spectrum, because they think that he can only see in heat waves. So they're wearing thermal suits to make themselves invisible. Then they'll spray him with radioactive dust while he's eating so they can see him with black lights.
Just because he can't see the dust doesn't mean that he can't smell it or taste it. How wouldn't he feel getting sprayed?
Shut up. They're only basing this plan on 2 weeks of seeing his smell on camera and 2 survivors who had limited contact with a different one.
You saying that Blaine and Hawkins were killed by a fucking lizard?
Clearly, this is well thought out and worth them sending most of their men to execute. For stealth reasons, they cut off their radio, and the guy monitoring him can't tell him to stop moving. Of course, they would have known this if they would have just had somebody look around. It's not even camouflaged. But they were right, and he can't see him. But they didn't know that it can change the light frequency it does see, and he ends up finding the frequency of their flashlights.
God, I think they're attracted to the light.
When the monitors show the predator sneaking up on him, Mike radios Keys to warn him. And this pisses off Keys, who tells him to get off the radio. So Mike goes to warn him in person, and since time is of the essence, he goes out to his car and gets all his guns before heading in. And that's too bad for everybody but Keys, because they're already dead.
They're all dead.
Harrigan makes sure to let the predator know that he's there by blowing up a bunch of shit and yelling for him. So the predator goes to fight Mike after politely dismissing Keys.
God, I love this job.
The explosions turn on the sprinklers, so now the predator can't use its cloaking device. But when Mike gets a good look at him and takes a shot to the vest, now he's not so tough.
Jeez, you got a big pussy.
When he gets cornered, he shoots the predator with a shotgun, which hits every time, and makes you wonder how shitty the aim of every single person he killed before was.
All you gotta do is just not miss.
Mike goes over to the body to get a look, but it turns out that being shot only knocked the predator the fuck out, because he gets up and is pissed that he called him ugly. This is interrupted by Keys not being dead.
Surprise, motherfucker.
He tells Harrigan to run, but the predator pulls out a danger frisbee and throws it at Keys, cuts him in half, and he dies.
Albino jackrabbit son of a bitch.
Mike goes to the roof, where the predator throws a spear at him, and then needs to hit his CPAP machine.
You're huffing and puffing. Why don't you take a hit off your scuba?
But this gives them the opportunity to knock the predator off the building. But he goes too hard and falls off too. He landed on a ledge, but the predator managed to stab the danger frisbee into the wall to catch himself. Seeing no other way out of this, the predator starts the explosion sequence on his wrist thingy, which Keys just happened to tell him earlier would blow up the equivalent of 300 city blocks.
Kaflooey, that's heavy shit.
So despite trying to avoid hurting innocent civilians, he's willing to kill everybody in an 18-mile radius just so they don't know he was there.
Hell, it's like they just disappeared.
But Harrigan takes the danger frisbee out of the wall and cuts his arm off, so he falls. Using his toenails to slow his fall, he's able to grab a pipe and crash into somebody's bathroom.
It's probably taking a shit right now.
There, he opens his first aid kit and makes some blue jello out of the wall and mirror. This stings, which wakes up the old woman who lives there, but not her husband. And you'd think that somebody crashing through your brick wall would have made enough noise for that.
Because your husband is dead, you killed him.
On the other building, Harrigan seems to be overcoming his fear of heights, and is coming down the pipe too.
I'm too old for this shit.
The old woman tries to defend her home with a broom after hearing pterodactyl screams from her bathroom. But when the medicine hurt the poor predator too much, he breaks down the door and runs out.
Big fella in our bathroom, and he's wearing a monster mask.
Mike also makes his way through the apartment, only to see that the woman's more afraid of a black man than she is of a giant alien.
Fuck yourself!
He chases it down an elevator shaft, only to find that he cut a hole at the bottom. And this is how he's been getting to and from his ship the whole time.
Hold on. His ship has been under an apartment building this whole time?
Yeah.
You have to level the building to get him out!
And they didn't notice it when they built it?
No, he just got there like 2 weeks ago.
Then how did he get under an apartment building?
They parked in like an aqueduct, then he just lasered a hole up through the elevator without hitting any pipes or utility lines.
Call 811 before you dig to avoid damaging utility lines.
And almost just as impossible, Mike fell like 4 stories on top of the ship, landing on metal and a bladed weapon, and is completely fine. He goes in the ship and immediately gets caught in the net.
I'm surprised you're so easily caught.
But he cuts himself free and fights the predator. It cuts him a few times and gets him on the ground. But just as it's about to kill him, Harrigan hits it in the chest with a danger frisbee, and it dies.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Then 9 more come out, and he's like, fuck. But they just take their buddy's dead body and give Mike an old dueling pistol and fuck off.
A lot of old timers carry those.
The ship starts rumbling, so he gets out right as they take off and almost gets roasted in the process.
I'm gonna have a chat with these assholes!
You'd think that if you're going to give somebody one of your murder trophies that you would at least let them get away to enjoy it.
Now I'm happy. Now stand over here being happy.
But because of the date on the gun, he knows that they'll be back.
Don't worry, asshole. You'll get another chance.
Wait, for what?
He's making his big move.
PR's my specialty.
What the hell is this?
You know how it is. We all have a job to do. Now, I'm sure we can respect each other's situation and act responsibly.
You look like a sympathetic dude.
It's your move.